Hello and welcome. So before we get started with practice, go ahead and grab a couple of props first. So you can pause this video, come back. This is a yoga bolster. If you don't have a yoga bolster, a couple of firm pillows, a couch cushion, just something that's going to give you this general support, and then maybe a blanket. So a bolster, some sort of support, and then maybe a blanket. You may or may not want to use it at the end to get nice and cozy and kind of wind down. So again, pause the video, grab what you need to grab, and then come on back. So for this practice, we have a full length 60 minutes together. We're gonna do a little bit of everything. So we're going to do a nice check-in at the beginning. We're gonna start really slow, checking in, noticing how you're feeling, noticing your breathing, starting to get a little bit in touch with your body. And then we're gonna move into some movement. So gonna get your heart rate up a little bit, maybe get some sweat going, nothing too crazy, just a little bit of nice movement to kind of get that energy moving and flowing. And then we're gonna wind it down, stretch it out, get into the hips a little bit or a lot, depending on how your hips are feeling. And then we're gonna wind everything down at the end with some nice restorative relaxation. We're gonna do a tiny bit of breath work, and then I'll play some sound bowls. So this is an opportunity for you to have kind of a full body experience. This gives you kind of a little bit of everything that yoga has to offer, or at least the types of yoga that I teach. And to just give you an idea of that, notice what you like, notice what you get from this practice, and maybe notice anything challenging that comes up. That's just as valuable. So anyways, go ahead and join me on your mat, wherever you're at, and we will get started. So I'm gonna put this off to the side. We're not gonna use it until the very end. And just join me in a seat. You can sit like I'm sitting. If this isn't comfortable, you can just sit flat down, just in a nice, easy seat with your legs crossed in front of you. Just start to settle in wherever you're at. Option to close your eyes down. And as you start to settle in, start to notice where your thoughts are at. So it's really helpful to kind of get a gauge of where you're at in your day, in your week. Where are your thoughts taking you? Maybe you are wondering what this practice is going to be like. I know sometimes when I sit down for a longer practice, my head goes to, okay, this sounds like a really long time. I don't know that I want to sit through this whole practice or do this whole practice. So maybe that's coming up for you. Maybe you're in a space completely removed from here. Maybe you are in something that happened last week. Maybe you're anticipating something in the future. Just notice. Where are your thoughts? Where is your mind? Maybe your thoughts are bringing up some anxiety, maybe some heaviness, or maybe you just feel a little bit distracted. Maybe your mind's just kind of bumping all over the place. Just notice where you're at, and then slowly acknowledge all of those thoughts, all of those other places that your mind has wandered to. And then allow yourself, invite yourself back to the present moment. So start to notice where you're at, even if your eyes are closed, just in your mind's eye. Notice the room you're in, the space that you're in. And then continue to bring that awareness all the way back to your body. And start to notice your physical body here. So what does it feel like to be in your body right now? Maybe it feels super uncomfortable. Maybe you already notice some tension hanging out in your body. Maybe you notice your heart beating in your chest. And take a moment and notice just some points in your body. So maybe notice with that space between your eyebrows. Bring your awareness to just between your eyebrows. And as we move through these spaces in your body, noticing, option to place a hand or fingertips on that space. So just notice your forehead, the space between your eyebrows, maybe give it a little massage. And then continue your awareness down into your jaw. So same thing. Maybe give it a little massage, maybe move it around a little bit. You may be holding a lot of tension there. I know I am. So just notice, just observe, feel into whatever is there. And then continue that awareness down into your shoulders. Same thing, just kind of notice the tops of your shoulders, the backs of your shoulders. Again, if you're like me, they may feel super tight. Just note any tension, tightness, or even pain that you're feeling in your body today. And as you notice whatever's coming up for you, can you kind of have a little bit of an acceptance for it? That may be difficult, but just noticing. So you're not trying to change, you're not trying to undo or push away any of these sensations, anything that's coming up. You're just noticing. And you're accepting where your body's at right here in this moment. No right or wrongs. And then go ahead and continue your awareness down into your hips. Again, option to place a hand or both hands there. Just kind of notice that space in your body. Start to notice your glutes as well. So we actually tend to hold a lot of tension in our glutes and we don't even realize it. So again, if you're like me, I'm holding a lot of tension there today. So just kind of notice, observe, feel into anything that comes up here. And then last but not least, bring your awareness back up to your chest, to your heart space. Option to place one hand or both hands on this space in your body. And again, just notice, feel the beat of your heart. Feel that subtle movement, that subtle rise and fall of your chest as you inhale and exhale. And this is where you can really start to tune into your breath. So the breath is the key to tapping into sensations in the body, tapping into emotions, regulating your nervous system. So it's super important to notice your breath. Option here to maybe take a couple of deep rounds of breath, maybe a nice big inhale through your nose, and then a nice slow, long exhale through your mouth. So maybe take that a few rounds at your own pace. Again, inhaling through your nose, slow and steady, filling your belly, your chest, your lungs. And then on your exhale, out of your mouth, really slow, really long, really taking your time with that exhale. And take this a few more rounds. And again, if you're like me and you're having a hard time breathing through your nose, again, just come to that point of acceptance. See if you can bring some acceptance around anything that's difficult. So maybe breathing through your nostrils is a little difficult today. Maybe taking deep breaths feels difficult. So just kind of notice how it feels. Take a couple more deep, slow, steady rounds of breath. On these next couple rounds, these last few rounds, maybe on your exhale, feel your shoulders sink down away from your ears. Feel your arms getting nice and heavy by your sides. Feel some of that tension release a little bit, maybe in your legs, your glutes. One or two more rounds of breath wherever you're at. And And then if your eyes are closed, slowly start to blink them open. And just notice your surroundings. Maybe notice the light coming back into your eyes. And then go ahead and start to feel into, we're gonna start with a little bit of movement. That's totally your choice. So what I mean by that is if you felt a lot of tension anywhere, like for instance, your shoulders, maybe just kind of take some movement into that part of your body. So anything that's calling you right now, if there's a part of your body that really needs to move and stretch, just kind of listen to that. And we're just gonna take a few rounds of breath to just listen to your body. So just notice how it feels, what you need here. Maybe you don't need so much movement. Maybe you just need to focus back in on your breath. Maybe you want a few more deep rounds of breath. Totally up to you. Just a few more rounds of breath wherever you're at, taking any movement, any stretch. And if you're ever not sure, again, it's okay to just kind of close your eyes and just kind of notice how you're feeling. Alrighty, we're gonna move a little bit more, get the heart rate up a little bit more. So I invite you to join me standing. If you're on a mat, go ahead. I'm gonna move this plant out of the way a little bit. Go ahead and move towards the top of your mat. So kind of about where I'm standing here. And then go ahead and just, again, take any movement that you need here. Maybe you need to kind of shake those legs out. You may need to get that blood circulating again. We were sitting for a while. Shake your legs out, shake your arms out. Maybe rub your hands together. Again, just kind of notice, feel into where your body's at now that we've shifted and we're standing. And then start to bring your awareness to the bottoms of your feet. So if you can, try to bring your big toes together to touch, and all four corners of your feet are nice and grounded down wherever you're at here. I like to kind of move forward and back. Sometimes I lift my heels just to really ground into that sensation of my feet being flat against the floor. So again, option to close your eyes down just for a few moments if you really want to focus in on the bottoms of your feet. And for these next couple rounds of breath, go ahead and take a nice big inhale through the bottoms of your feet. Picture pulling that air all the way up to the top of your head. Get nice and tall in your spine. And then exhale, push that air all the way back down to the bottoms of your feet. So your arms are heavy by your sides. Your palms face forward, and you're inhaling through your entire body. Pulling that inhale from your feet to your head and from the crown of your head all the way back down to the bottoms of your feet. Couple more rounds wherever you're at. Again, if you get the urge to shake it out, have some movement, you're more than welcome. 1 or 2 more rounds of breath here, and then we're going to start to move. And then wherever you're at, slowly blink your eyes open if they're closed. Again, just kind of look down at your feet. Notice that your big toes are touching. And then go ahead and look straight in front of you. And on an inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. See if you can touch your palms together and your gaze goes towards your thumbs. Hold here for a breath or two. So we're going to move into what we call sun salutations. If you've done these before, you know where we're going. If not, I'll walk you through it. So we're going to take several rounds of these. So on your next inhale, lengthen your arms. Exhale, dive it down to your first forward fold, wherever you're at here. So go ahead, keep your big toes together to touch, and plant the palms of your hands down. Even if that means that you have to bend your knees a lot, that's totally okay. You want to really ground your palms down here. Let the crown of your head be nice and heavy towards the earth. Hang out here for another breath or two. Get your bearings, nice big inhales and exhales. And then on an inhale, find some length in your spine. Crown of your head goes up a little bit, and then exhale. Step it back to a plank. If full plank is not working for your body today, you can drop your knees down. So just kind of notice here, we're going to be here for 2 or 3 rounds of breath. So tune in. If you feel like you might collapse being in that full plank, just drop those knees down. An option to play around with this. We're going to take this several rounds. Wherever you're at, nice big inhale. Exhale, lower halfway down. So bend those elbows, lower halfway down. Inhale, push it up to your upward facing dog. So untuck your toes. Really push the ground away here. Your chest is through your arms. And try to see if you can pull those knees off of the ground. Pushing those knees toward the sky. 1 or 2 more rounds of breath. Nice big inhale wherever you're at. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. And just kind of notice where your body's at here. So your hands stay exactly where they're at, nice and grounded. Take a look at your feet. Notice that they're about hips width distance apart. And really try to push down with your heels. So I do not care if your heels touch the floor. That's not the point. The point is to really feel that stretch all the way through the back of your legs, all the way up your entire body, your entire back body here. Up into your back, your shoulders. 1 or 2 more rounds of breath. And then wherever you're at, look forward between your hands, step forward to that halfway lift. So find that length in your spine, hands stay where they're at. Exhale, crown of your head towards the earth. Inhale, stand all the way up. Reach your arms up as you go. Bring the palms of your hands together. And then exhale, bring your hands by your sides. Take a moment. Take some deep breaths. And again, if you're really familiar with this, you can take this sun salutation several times at your own pace. If you need to go faster, if, whatever you need here, go ahead and take this several more rounds at your own pace. If you're still with me, we're going to take that 2 more times. So when you're ready, go ahead, check in on your feet, big toes together. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up, bring the palms of your hands to touch. Exhale, dive it all the way down, forward fold, plant your hands, crown of your head towards the earth. Inhale, lengthen your spine, half lift. Exhale, plank, full plank, or drop those knees. Inhale here. On an exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Untuck your toes. Really push the ground away with your hands. And then on an exhale, downward facing dog. Stay for 2 to 3 rounds of breath. Same thing. Push the ground away with your hands, almost like you're pushing your chest towards the tops of your legs. Push your heels down. Just feel that full body stretch. And then look up between your hands. Inhale, step forward, halfway lift. Find that length. Exhale, fold forward, crown of your head to the earth. Inhale, stand all the way up. Sweep your arms up. Palms of your hands touch. Exhale, hands by your sides. 1 or 2 rounds of breath here. Again, if you're taking this at a faster pace, go as many rounds as you want. We're going to go 1 more round. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up, palms of your hands together. Exhale, dive it down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank, your variation, and then lower halfway down right away. Inhale, upward facing dog, untuck those toes. Push your chest through. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 or 3 rounds of breath here. Find your breath. Notice your heart beating here. And then look up between your hands. Step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Sweep those arms all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands by your sides. Awesome. We're going to take 1 more round of sun salutations. We're going to change it up. We're going to do sun salutation B. And we're just going to do 1 round of that. So again, if you know where we're going, go ahead and do your round B. If you're following me, we'll go ahead and start. So go ahead and inhale, sweep your arms all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, dive it down, forward fold. Plant your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step it back, your version of plank, lower down halfway right away. Inhale to your upward facing dog and exhale, downward facing dog. This is where we change it up. Keep your left foot grounded and go ahead and pull your right knee in towards your chest. So you're finding a little bit of balance here. Plant your right foot somewhere between your hands. Make sure you have a nice balance here. And then on an inhale, you're gonna come to rise. Stand all the way up. Exhale, settle in. If you can touch your palms together, go for it. Check in with your back foot. Make sure that it's nice and flat, so those toes are gonna point away a little bit. Bend through your right front knee. For 3, you got this. For 2, for 1, big inhale, find length. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Hold here for a breath or 2. And then we're gonna take that to the other side, and then we'll be through with these sun salutations. Inhale, pull your left knee towards your chest. Exhale, plant your foot between your hands. When you're ready, find your balance. Inhale to rise. Exhale, settling in, which means take that back foot. Make sure that back foot is nice and flat. Those toes point out so that you can get that foot flat. Arms extend up for 3. Front knee is bent for 2. And for 1. Inhale. On your exhale, plant your hands. Step it back to your version of plank. Lower down halfway. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. 2 or 3 rounds of breath here. We're almost through this section. Awesome. Look up between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Awesome. Inhale to rise. Sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to the side. Find your breath. Again, if you're like me, I'm having a hard time finding my breath today. So take your time. Notice how you feel. Again, maybe you need to shake it out. Notice your heart rate. Maybe that just felt super good. Maybe that felt super challenging in your body. Just kind of notice. Alrighty. So we're going to play around with one more pose, standing, and then we'll take it down to the mat and slow things down a little bit. So we're going to play around a little bit with balance and also getting into your hips. So keep your left foot nice and grounded, and then inhale. Start to bring your right knee up. So you're bending your knee, bringing it up. You can flex that right foot. Take a couple rounds of breath here. I'll show you where we're going. We're going to take a variation of pigeon. So you're going to cross that right ankle over the top of your left leg and just bend that left knee a little bit. So as you do this, notice your balance. Find a spot in front of you that's not moving and keep your focus right there. We're holding for 3, and you can take this as low as you need or want. For 2, for 1, inhale, come back up. Exhale, plant that right foot. Again, maybe shake it out. Alrighty, I'm gonna take that to the other side. When you're ready, keep your right foot planted. Bring your left knee up towards you. Flex that left foot, and then same thing. Cross that left ankle over the top of your right leg and take this to whatever edge you need to or you can in your body today. So for me, I'm bending that right knee, sinking down. Your eyes are fixed on one single point in front of you. For 3, you got this. For 2, for 1, awesome. Inhale, come back up. Exhale. Shake it out. Alrighty. So we're gonna go ahead and meet in a seat. And we're gonna slow the heart rate down a little bit. We're gonna find some nice deep stretches for your hips here. So go ahead and find a seat or a shape similar to mine. So my legs are bent, but my feet are a little bit in front of me, and my hands are down behind me. My fingers are facing towards my legs. So find this stance. Make sure that this feels nice and supportive in your body. And we're gonna take that same thing, except we're gonna change it up a little bit and deepen it. So you're gonna cross your right ankle over top of your left leg. So check in. Notice how this feels. An option, maybe start to rock side to side a little bit. That may start to get into your hips a little bit more, kind of get a feel for where your hips are at today. So just a reminder, you do not want to move past pain. So if you're feeling actual pain in your body and your body is not okay, stay where you're at or come out of the shape altogether. So you really want to be careful about pain, but discomfort, tension, tightness, that's okay. You actually want to feel that because when you're feeling it, you're able to release it after. So if this is enough for you, stay. If you want to take it further, you can walk that left foot in towards you a little bit more. So the closer your legs are to you, the more you're going to feel this stretch. Try to keep that right foot flexed. Again, if this is enough for you, stay. We're going to take this in steps. If you can or want to take it a step further, walk your left foot to the right, and you're going to start to land everything down, okay? So you're kind of in this funky stack shape with your legs. Again, if this is enough for you, stay. The kind of max, or what word am I looking for? The full variation of this posture is to take that right ankle over top of your left knee and your right knee over top of your left foot. So almost like you're stacking knees and ankles and feet and legs, all the things. So this is ultimately where some people may end up and some people may not. All of our bodies are different. So depending on how your body's feeling today, just kind of check in, stay where you're at with whatever's doable. And we're going to hold for a little bit of time. So notice how you feel. If you're here with me and you're still like, meh, I'm chilling, maybe walk forward and fold forward. And if you still don't feel it there, I don't know what to tell you, but I definitely feel it. So again, check in. Notice how your body feels here. And if this is just like, if you are almost overwhelmed by the tension and the tightness, find your breath. Inhale and exhale. On each inhale, take it slow and steady through your nose. And on each exhale, allow that tension to release out of your body. Let your shoulders drop a little bit. See if you can be with that tension instead of fighting it. We've got 1 more minute left, okay, on this side. And then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So again, don't fight through pain. Come out of this if it's painful, if you feel, especially if you feel it in your knees. Be gentle with your knees. But only you know how your body's feeling today. It's your practice, so do what you need to do here. Sit in that tension. Be with that tension. Don't fight it. We're holding for 5. Almost there. For 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Slowly, very gentle wherever you're at. Unwind. Whoo, and straighten your legs all the way down in front of you. Maybe shake it out. Just kind of notice how this feels. Alrighty. Oh, so check in. Again, if that was super challenging, you made it through, you did it. And as we go into the other side, just kind of notice the other side might feel really different. It might be a little bit, you may have more space on the other side, or it may feel more tight. So just kind of notice it's normal for both sides to feel a little bit different. Okay, so go ahead, plant your right foot down on the mat in front of you, and we're going to take this the same pace. So at your own pace, you're going to stack left ankle over right leg. Maybe start with a little bit of easing in with some movement, rocking side to side. Notice how that feels. This will kind of give you a good indication of where you're going to land in this shape. And then when you're ready, again, stay or take it to your edge, whatever that looks like today. Again, use your breath to settle in here. Find your edge. So your edge is that point of tension and discomfort that you can sit in and that you can breathe through. So pushing past your edge would be it's so uncomfortable that you're hyperventilating or you're experiencing actual pain. That would be pushing past your edge. Not meeting your edge would be, it's pretty comfortable. I can hang out here all day. So you're not really feeling any tightness or discomfort. Again, you want to feel the tension to release the tension. We've got less than a minute left. Nice, deep, slow, steady inhales through your nose. And then long, steady exhales through your mouth. Really picture that tension leaving your body with each exhale. We're almost there. 5, you got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly and gently start to unravel from wherever you're at. Whoo. Let your legs go straight in front of you. You made it through. Check in, notice how that felt. And then if it feels okay, I like to do what we call windshield wipers, or what I call windshield wipers after something like that. So you can bring your feet back to plant and bring them really wide apart, maybe about as wide as your mat. And I love to just let my legs fall from side to side. There's something about this that kind of feels nice and releasing. Kind of undoes all of that tension that was built up. Awesome. Okay. We're going to meet with our legs back straight in front of us. And you're going to find a nice seat. So just kind of maneuver around, make sure your sit bones are nice and grounded. You're going to flex through your feet. We're going to find a really active forward fold. So if you're really tight in the backs of your legs, that's okay. Just kind of take this as far as you can, okay? I'm also pretty tight in the backs of my legs. So go ahead and inhale. Find length in your spine. Really feel your chest pull through your arms. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale. Walk your hands forward. Try to keep that length in your spine. I know it gets really challenging here, but try to keep that length in your spine and just kind of notice, kind of try to work with your body here. If you feel like you absolutely just can't go any further, maybe bend your knees a little bit. If you feel like you're starting to really round through your spine, inhale to find length. And exhale, just kind of picture yourself folding a little bit deeper. So we're here for about 5 more rounds of breath. Slow, steady breathing. Try not to rush it. On each inhale, try to find some length in your spine. And on each exhale, try to see if you can fold deeper or just allow yourself to stay. Wherever you're at, once you get through those 5 rounds of breath, slow and controlled inhale, come all the way back up, take your time. Exhale here. Awesome. Alrighty. We're gonna make our way down to our backs. So go ahead and find yourself there. Alrighty. And then start to bring your knees in towards your chest. Notice how this feels. So see if you can bring awareness to your lower back here. So try to have a nice flat lower back. So you may have to pull your knees in a little closer to you, but really flatten your lower back so it's nice and grounded on the floor, and just kind of notice what that feels like. So it's natural when we lay down to kind of have that little arch in the lower back. Notice what it feels like to completely flatten it down on the ground. An option to just kind of take any sort of movement or stretches that your body is calling for right now. So for me, just kind of rocking my knees side to side. Maybe you need to take a couple of deep rounds of breath. Just kind of notice how you feel here. Alrighty, we're gonna get into the hips one more time, and then I promise we're done with hips. So go ahead and bring your left leg all the way down to the floor. So your ankle is super grounded. And then pull your right knee towards you. So we're gonna take this in steps again as well, just like we did with the first hip opener. So bring that right knee towards you. Take your peace fingers, grab around your right big toe. Make sure they're nice and secure. Make sure you're not yanking your toe towards you. So it's more like your toe is pulling your fingers forward, okay? So you just wanna support your big toe. And then on an inhale, see if you can find some length in your right leg all the way up to the sky. Exhale when you arrive, settle in. So again, if you're super tight in the backs of your legs, you're gonna have a bent knee here, and it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're feeling the stretch in your body. That's literally all that matters. So take a couple more rounds of breath here. An option to tee your left arm out to the side. It's gonna kind of help balance and support you. So where you're gonna go next is option to stay, or you can take that right leg all the way out to the side. I'm gonna actually turn around here so I have some space. So you can stay where you're at and just start to take your right leg as far out to the side as it'll go here. So for some of us, it may go all the way down to the floor. For some of us, it may only move a couple inches. And so that left arm is teed out to the side to kind of help balance the weight so you're not kind of swaying to the right. Try to keep your hips nice and grounded, holding for 3, for 2, for 1. Come all the way back up, nice and slow, and then gently release, and you're just gonna switch sides. And I'm gonna switch sides too. So again, this time, lower that right leg all the way down. Left leg comes up. Again, you can start with that bent knee, pulling your left leg towards you. Peace fingers around your left big toe. Your head and shoulders are all the way down on the floor. And then start to find that length in your left leg. Again, it does not matter how you look, how straight your leg is. You just want to feel that stretch. And then same thing, whatever you did on the other side, if you took it out to the right, take this one out to the left. Settle in, maybe tee your right arm out to counterbalance that, holding for 3, for 2, for 1. Awesome. Slowly and gently inhale back to center. Exhale, release. Whew. Again, bring your knees in towards your chest. Maybe hug yourself in, maybe rock side to side. Alrighty, we're done with hips and legs and all of the stretchy, movie stuff. So you are welcome to grab your props. So go ahead and grab your bolster. If you have a blanket or if you're feeling, we're gonna be really slowing down movement. So basically from here on out for the rest of practice, we're just going to settle in to some really restorative, calming postures. And we're pretty much just gonna stay still. So if you're like me and your feet get cold, grab some socks, grab a blanket or a sweatshirt, anything that you need, and take your bolster or whatever you have as your prop. We're gonna move into a supported fish shape. So find a seat, place that bolster a long ways behind you. Make sure it's nice and snug up against you. So you really want to feel that. You want it to feel supportive. And then when you're ready, you're going to lay all the way back over. Oh man, every time I do this, it just feels so nice in my body. So just kind of notice how this feels in your body. You may feel a really big opening in your chest, maybe in your shoulders. And take your time, there's no rush here. If you need to readjust, if you need to grab a blanket underneath you, over you, your legs can be any way as well. So just find a variation of this shape that feels really supportive in your body. So unlike everything else we've done, you don't want to feel like you're pulling or stretching or holding tension. You want to be able to just let everything go in your body. So check in, notice if you can do that, and if you can't, readjust. And go ahead and stay where you're at. You can readjust where you're at. I'm going to sit up. It's just a little easier for me to talk and breathe when I sit up. So go ahead again, find your variation of this posture, whatever that feels like, whatever that looks like for you. And again, just notice how this shape feels in your body. Maybe it doesn't feel supportive enough. Maybe you need a couple extra stacks of pillows or blankets. Take a few more moments, settle in. So as you continue to notice your breath, I invite you to draw your awareness back up all the way to the very top of your head. So I'm going to walk you through a body scan just to check in with all parts of your body to notice where you're at, how you're feeling. And just like we did at the beginning of this practice, can you invite a space of non-judgment, no expectations, just acceptance of whatever comes up and whatever is in your body today. So simply just noticing. So notice the crown of your head, the top of your head. Feel into that space. I know that's really hard to do sometimes, but just picture yourself feeling into that space. What does it feel like at the top of your head? And maybe start to move that awareness down slowly into the space between your eyebrows. So you're just kind of noticing this whole part of your head, your crown of your head, your forehead, that space between your eyebrows. Feel that in your body. Notice that in your body. And then allow yourself to move that awareness down into the bridge of your nose, feather it out into your cheekbones. Bring that awareness down into your jaw. Same thing. Notice your jaw. What does it feel like? What does it look like? And continue that awareness down into your throat and your whole front of your neck. So your jaw, your throat, your neck. How does it feel? And what's that sensation of that openness in your neck, in your throat area? Maybe it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's really nice. Just kind of notice. Continue your awareness down into your shoulders. Just notice, feel into that space in your body. What are you holding there? What do you need to let go of there? And maybe even ask yourself that about that space in your throat. So that whole area from your jaw down into your throat, your neck, your shoulders. What are you holding in that space? What do you need to let go of? Or what do you need more of? Continue that awareness down your sides into your ribs. Notice the spaces between your ribs. Notice as they open and expand as you inhale, and how they go back in as you exhale. And then continue that awareness down into your belly, noticing that space in your body. And again, can you have a feeling of acceptance for anything that comes up here? Your body is not here to fight you or go against you. Your body is there for you to be in tune with, to be connected with yourself. So what does it feel like to connect with that part of your body, your belly, your stomach, that very core, that very center part of you and of your body? What does that feel like right now? Then continue your awareness down into your pelvis, maybe feather it out a little bit into your hips. And then allow that awareness to go all the way down into your legs. See if you can let your legs grow a little bit heavier, a little bit more grounded wherever they're at. All the way to the bottoms of your feet, the tips of your toes. Then slowly and gently pull that awareness up your legs all the way until you reach your hips, your ribs, all the way up into your shoulders. And then feather that awareness out into your arms again, all the way to the very tips of your fingertips or tips of your fingers, palms of your hands. And then again, slowly, gently pull that awareness up to your shoulders and into your chest, your heart space. Notice that part of your body. Bring awareness back to your breathing. What does your heart look like, feel like? What do you need more of? What do you need to let go of? What's something that's been holding you back? Maybe there's a block there, a wall. So just notice. The front part of our body tends to hold a lot. So your belly, your chest, your heart space, your throat. Those are very vulnerable places in our bodies. So sometimes when we tune into them, a lot of stuff comes up. So again, notice, just be an observer, no judgment, no expectations, just acceptance of you, where you're at today, where your body's at. It's not an easy thing to do. It's a lot easier to say than to actually do. But see if you can cultivate some sort of feeling of acceptance for yourself. Maybe find that in your body. Where can you find acceptance, non-judgment, compassion for yourself? And just in this moment, let go of all the rest. Let go of the thoughts, the disbeliefs, the what ifs, the shoulds. Let go of all that other stuff. Where can you find acceptance, non-judgment, compassion for yourself in your body. Just notice where that's at in your body, and if you're having a really hard time finding it, just imagine it. Find a space in your body for that to sit, for that to live. Acceptance, non-judgment, compassion. And hone your focus around those words. Maybe there's something else, maybe something else that resonates more that's coming up for you. Whatever it is, just kind of repeat those words over and over several times to yourself. Acceptance, non-judgment, compassion, anything else that you need. Breathe into those words. Feel them in your body. Take a few deep rounds of breath into those sensations, those feelings, that felt sense of being accepted, of not being judged, of having compassion for yourself. And just a quick reminder that anything you need for yourself, you have it already. Nobody else can give it to you, at least not long term. Nobody else can help you with that. You have everything you need literally in your body. All of the resources you need for anything you might be struggling with. Sometimes it's really hard to find and it's really hard to feel, but it is there. So tune into those resources, tune into those feelings, acceptance, non-judgment, compassion. Take a nice big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, let it go. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last one together, inhale. And exhale. If you would like to stay where you're at, we've got just a few more minutes left together. With the magic of video editing, I have my sound bowls here next to me. So I'm gonna play these just for a couple minutes, just to kind of round out our practice together, bring everything down. So find a nice comfortable shape, stay where you're at. Whatever you need here, this is your time to just be. So we're done digging and working and doing all of that. I invite you to just allow your body, yourself, your mind, your feelings to just be. Again, sit in that acceptance, that non-judgment, that compassion. And I'm going to finish out with the sound bowls. And at the end, you're welcome to stay where you're at for as long as you need.